You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just text FINANCE, FINANCE, to 357-911 right now to get started. That's FINANCE, FINANCE, to 357-911. Auto financing the easy way. Text FINANCE to 357-911.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It's takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Hello. It's been so long.
I know. Back on the red wine.
Fun times again.
Do you have your red wine?
No, I have not red wine.
Wait, so first show back and you're already breaking the rules. That's not how this is supposed to work.
So Diane, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, it's I have water in one and I have Riesling in the other, which is not red wine. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm cheating.
I know. It's like a sweet wine. Ugh.
Oh, stop. So Jody, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a red wine. Of course.
I'm a rebel. What can I say?
Well, at least somebody got
I know. So we are so glad to be back. We missed all of you. We are, of course, Diane and I like to chat. So
yes, we do.
We missed our little forum. We went away. A lot of you know that my husband got sick. We have kind of stabilized all of that right now. And so Diane and I felt like it was time, with all the crazy in the world, to come back on and,
share our opinions.
Wine.
Wine. Oh, yes. And rant.
and rant. So, okay, first up, we have to acknowledge that Diane's team, the Packers, won the Super Bowl again.
Excuse me, what did you just say?
I said Packers.
You did not say the Chiefs.
Patriots.
I don't know. I liked it better when you said the Packers. I'm just
saying. That was so funny. That was completely subliminal.
I think it's because she's been reading the whole story about that Packer guy from, the National Enquirer, maybe. I don't know.
Well, my brother's a huge Packers guy. We know Mo is a huge Packers girl. We know Brick is a huge Packers guy.
No. New England Patriots the whole way. However, I'm sorry, Dan. It really was a boring game.
God. It was a boring game, but I want you to know that I actually was rooting for the Patriots, and I hate the Patriots. But after what the Rams were ranting about not wanting to go to the White House and how awful Trump was, I was like, you know what? F them. They hadn't even won yet. They're already saying they're not going to go to the White House.
That to me, that's poor sportsmanlike conduct. And I would have given them a yellow flag. How do you like that? No, I think, it's irregardless of who's in the White House, it's still an honor to be asked to represent your team, represent your, state, your country, or whatever. Just go. There's a chance you might have to speak to the president and say, look, this is the issues that bother me. And this, for example, the manager of the Boston Red Sox said he wasn't going to go to the White House either because of what he perceived as issues in Puerto Rico. So,
yeah,
you should take your celebrity, if you will, and use it to your advantage and speak to the president. And you might find that what you're hearing on the news is not actually what's happening.
Or you just enjoy the fact that you get to go to the White House, because how many people in the world, seriously, get invited to go to the White House. It's a big deal. And as I said on Twitter, by the time your grandkids look at your pictures, they won't even know who the hell Trump is because they're only going to be teaching world history. They won't even be teaching American history anymore.
Oh, I think they should invite us to the White House.
I think so too. I know. I think Trump would really enjoy.
I mean,
so ladies, not to interrupt, but you might actually have an in at the White House. Chad's wife.
Oh, really?
Chad's wife, the guy from the Guns Group from KOKC.
Yeah.
She was his regional campaign director. They've already been to one White House Christmas.
Oh, really? My gosh. Well, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I'm not saying he'll actually get you in, but you could just be a little nicer to him, see how it works out. I don't know.
Chad, if I told you, Chad, your Twitter Abby is so awesome. So,
I think we'd be great at the White House. I know I would have plenty to say.
Yes. And
I would
moving
probably
on to
tell Melania that I loved her Christmas decorations.
Oh, Diane, they were horrible. They represented death. So here's my thing, Diane and Rick. What did you guys think of the State of the Union?
I actually thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, look at the polls that came out.
Sometimes though, I don't listen to what he's saying because I'm focusing on the people that look like idiots that are sitting in the, Congress or whatever. It's a bad habit of mine. But, first of all the women dressed in white.
Okay, what was that?
It was supposed to be the 100-year anniversary of the suffragettes and the women's right to vote. However, you keep hearing white robes, white clothes. You think KKK. That's just
I know. That's what I thought. I thought, what an odd choice.
First of all, I know I could never wear white because I don't care if there's a cup of coffee across the room. It's going to get on me.
Oh, my God. I was thinking of, so AOC, and we actually, Rick, were you even able to get that audio?
Actually, yeah, if you'll bear with me for just a second, I should be able to just pull it straight from there. So hang on. So she's so, her lipstick, I kept thinking that's going to get all over somebody's sleeve. They're going to come up and hug her.
Yeah.
So, all right. So today she said, I don't even understand her. I guess it actually wasn't exactly today, but I don't even understand her at all.
I don't think that's the right one. Never mind. You guys dropped something, but it's like Miss Teen USA 2007.
Yeah, Yeah, so Orty dropped that, making fun of AOC as if, like, it sounds just as ridiculous as this.
Okay, I was going to say I have it right now. I just wasn't sure it was the right thing. Hang on.
Okay. Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
I just want to note one thing, okay? That was from 2007. Yeah, that's the millennials. And I'm like, excuse me, but seriously.
Okay, so I promised I wouldn't talk much, but what the hell was that?
I know.
U.S. Americans, I died.
I know. Okay, so listen to this. This is what AOC actually said. This is a quote from her. She just recently was discussing how because the Hispanic people that are here, I guess, are supposed to be here because they came from the Native Americans here. I didn't really follow her. Anyway, so she said, and people can question the speaking and why some languages are and some are not. But ultimately, it is up to the individual person to speak on behalf of the ones who can't and hear the change we are all talking about. What the hell is that?
Is that like, do you remember when they used to have Ebonics way back?
I don't even know. This sounds as bad as the South Carolina girl.
This has to be the new socialist speak. There's got to be a name for it, but it most definitely is not English, or at least
not English. I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry. She's like this, phenom right now, but she's dumb as a stump. Let's just put it right out there. All right. If she has a degree in economics, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I wish I was 5'10", or however tall she is. But anyhow, I'm not Cindy Crawford.
Well, I honestly thought that, like, anytime she speaks from here on out, thanks to Orty, I am going to think of Miss South Carolina answering her question. It was painful. It was painful. I know, isn't that funny? And then that leads me to another painful interview this week. Did you guys listen to Elizabeth Warren try to explain away why she wrote in she was Native American?
I didn't totally follow it because sometimes when she speaks, my mind goes blank. Kind of like when I walk into a Home Depot, my eyes go blank and they just glaze over because I can't stand Home Depot, but I can't stand her. So I just, no. So tell me what her reasoning was.
Really, it's because she was always told that. And my brothers and I, she must have brought her brothers into the conversation at least 20 times. My brothers and I, we were always told this. So basically, she was explaining that the reason why she filled in Native American on forms, how she identified, is because that's how she was always told in her family history. Not one reporter in the room, since she kept bringing up her brothers, said, oh, so did your brothers also identify as Native American? Because we all know they didn't. It's ridiculous.
Seriously, my mother used to say, what do you think? You're the Queen of England? If I'd known that, I would have put I was the Queen of England on everything.
I know. Every little girl would be like, I am from royalty. My mother called me a princess.
Yeah. Think about that. You don't put something down because it's been handed down in your family. I mean, my brother-in-law actually he's from Kentucky. He actually is, Cherokee Indian. And he never used that ever once in his entire life.
Well, we all know she's not stupid. I mean, this is a woman with a law degree. She went to Harvard, correct? I think it was Harvard. Somebody in the chat room correct me if I'm wrong. But how I just don't understand how we are supposed to sit and listen to a press conference and not one of those reporters rolled their eyes and said, really?
Because they're too busy, wanting a Democrat, irregardless of what their history is, to win. It's not going to happen, but.
Well, and honestly, it's like if Obama had come out and say, hey, the reason why you can't see my college transcripts is because I lied and said I was from Kenya just so I could obviously I was born in Hawaii, but I wanted to get in and get the free scholarships or, the perks. If Elizabeth Warren was like, yeah, it was the 70s. It wasn't as big of a deal then. Okay, I lied. I'm caught. I think I'd have a little more respect for her for at least not lying. But, oh, God, that was painful.
It was extremely painful. She is, and I will tell you what, a lot of people that I know in Massachusetts, being formerly from Massachusetts, and it's women that are like, how the hell did she get voted back into office? Because they say this, they're basically saying she should resign from the Senate. She should not bother to run for president. These are Democrats, by the way, that are saying this. They just don't like her whatsoever. They don't think she's done anything for Massachusetts. And the fact that when she ran just this past November saying she was not going to be running for president, she was going to be a senator, And then she turns around and says, oh, yeah, I'm going to run for president. Well, if I was a voter that voted for her, which would never happen, I would be betrayed. Number one right there. Same thing with Cory Booker and whoever else, Kamala Harris running, saying, we're not going to run for president. We're running to be a senator. And then they turn around and say, oh, yeah, we're going to run for president. Screw being in the Senate. Right. Well, I would certainly hope that maybe there should be a law or something out there that says, you know what, if you are going to run for president, you need to resign from your seat immediately.
I agree with that because I don't think you should hedge your bets.
No.
I think you should have to quit one, and you can't just say, well, just in case I lose, I'm going to hold on to this seat.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? Run the next time or when the next, Senate seat is open. But for them to sit there and do that and they have this to fall back on, no.
Right. Totally agree. Okay, so let's see here. What was the thing I was going to make sure and ask you? Oh, I know. I just happened to go on Politibunny on Sam's Twitter before I came on. And what is up with this Bush Twitter? I had to bring it up because is Twitter the most ridiculous place in the world or what?
Yeah, lately.
It is. It's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So you're never going to see a picture of me nude, male or female, and that will lead us into the Bezos story here coming up.
Yeah.
But I honestly do not understand women thinking it's feminist or whatever to not shave. What is that?
That's just nasty.
Well, I don't get it.
I mean, people are free to do what they want, whatever they're comfortable with, but I'm sorry. Personal choices is you shave. That's how I was, that's what my mother taught me. That's what I find, to me, if I see a guy that shaves, I'm kind of like, why are you shaving?
I know. Well, to me, it's so, I don't understand it. But Twitter is the place where you get, and already just brought it up, you get foreskin Twitter, you get religious Twitter, you get crazy, naked armpit, or Diane and I did have on a show years ago about how women were knitting their pubic hair. Actually, do you remember that?
Yes. And I was horrified then.
I know. They would like making sweaters stuff. I don't even.
Why do they feel that expresses their femininity? Because I'm sorry.
I have no idea. But so this is Twitter. And this is why if you are listening to this show and you are not on Twitter, perhaps that's a smart thing.
Stay away. Wow. Stay away. It's
Stay
terrifying.
on Facebook. Go to Facebook.
I mean, I don't know, because sometimes if you want to laugh.
This is true. I will say that I never knew anything at all about My Little Pony Twitter until I had no idea there was an entire subsect of people that were Furbies and My Little Ponies in the world. No idea until I went on Twitter.
Wait, what?
The Furbies, Furbies, people that dress up in like cosplay. They dress up as
actually they're called furries.
Oh, they're called what?
Furries, no B.
Furby is the toy.
Yeah, Furby's the toy. They're called furries.
They dress up like
not
Furbies.
Not that I have anything like that in my closet or anything. Just,
This is how innocent I am. I don't even know what the hell it is.
I don't even want to know about the My Little Pony.
Oh, speaking of which, before we get too much further, we do have a correction from the chat. She actually, hang on, let me get it pulled back up because you'd asked somebody in the chat to tell you.
Where Elizabeth Warren went to school.
Yeah, they actually answered from Guns. It was Aggie. She says she went to Boston University.
Boston University. Thank you, Aggie. See, Aggie's so smart.
She really is.
She is. She is smart.
I used to party at BU. But we don't talk about that. That's a whole other story.
Did you ever see her?
Not that I wouldn't. No.
What would she have been, an immigrant? Never mind.
Elizabeth. How old is Elizabeth Warren?
She's older than you.
Yeah.
I was teasing.
I'm just kidding.
I was 21 when I was 16.
This is true. This is true. It was so much easier back then to have a fake ID and, of course, not to have to worry about, nowadays, hell, you can get like ID theft and all sorts of stuff. Back then I had my cousin's ID and, who cared?
You go out with $5 and you come home with 20. And free drinks all night.
Okay, well, I never came home with extra money. I'm not really sure how you did that, but I would get free drinks all night. So.
That's taking advantage of the toxic masculinity out there.
Hey, bring it on, because I don't think I ever spent a dime in my... Seriously, until I was married. I went to a bar.
Well, those are the days.
Yes, I know. So anyway, yeah, furry brownies are the worst. It's true, Michael. They are.
What? Okay, so minor correction. Elizabeth Warren attended University of Houston and Rutgers Law School. AOC was the one that went to
to BU, yeah,
University. So I'm getting corrected from Aggie. I'm going to leave her on staff as our fact checker.
Need we say any more about Massachusetts education standards?
Well,
oh wait, I went to school in Mass.
I was just going to say, weren't you on the school board there?
No, not in Mass, in New Hampshire.
Well, that's true. But seriously, I don't think Elizabeth Warren probably even went to school. I think that's why we're having a hard time finding it, because hell, you can just lie on documents. It doesn't even matter.
And I'm curious what other documents that she lied on too, though, because she said there's more out there. So what else did she lie on? Did she lie on it for her, college tuition, perhaps?
Hey,
to get the scholarships, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm wondering how she identified on government papers.
Because when you think about it, the way that what did she call it? The misappropriation or whatnot. But if she did, and the people who are legitimately, American Indian, Cherokee or whatever, that, she took their place. It's ridiculous. And she's apologizing now because it was found. Let's ask the question. Would she have ever come out and admitted it if they didn't find it? I don't think so.
No. And I was saying this to Aggie and Mo the other day. Seriously, when she's told this lie, and she's been telling it for years, she had no idea how in 2018 DNA would be so accessible to everybody. We'd be able just to take a swab and know, immediately. I think it just is a big lesson that people who lie, eventually it's going to come out.
I just wish I was a fly on the wall when Donald Trump found all of this out. I'm sorry.
I have a feel. Can you imagine if you were the person that ran against her in the campaign?
Well, here's the thing: the person that ran against her was U.S. an American military veteran.
Yeah, I mean,
he's the one that ran against her. He should have won, and the fact that she lied, and he even said that that she should be taking these tests and whatnot, and she refused. And now, I'm kind of curious to get more feedback out of what's happening in Massachusetts with this, because they're really not talking about it and not really reporting it.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to be quiet about it.
I think it's, Well, that will lead us. I'm not really sure. How much time do we have, Rick, before we have to go to break?
We've got about 60 seconds.
Well, I just wanted to say really quick, if everyone has a chance to go to Minuteman Watch, because I actually went to their site today, and they donate a proceed of their portions to the military. I think, Rick, is it the one where they build houses?
Yes, that's they actually have a couple of different groups they donate to.
Look fantastic, and I showed my husband, and he's very interested in that. So we'll be looking. So make sure you go to MinutemanWatch.com.
All right. Well, thank you for throwing that in there, because we hadn't really talked about that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take our the only break of this show, because, I'm the one that's got 40 million commercials. We'll be right back, so don't go away. Whether we realize it or not, everyone has been impacted by addiction. We all have family members, we all have friends that have faced this demon. But there's hope. There's hope in recovery. There's hope when we work together to rise above the plight of addiction. I'd like you to join Mac Mullings every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Rise Above Radio on KOKC 1520 AM, where they talk about the hope that is available to all of us.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Folks, welcome back to the relaunch of the Red Wine Show. I am Rick Robinson, Programming Director, President, KLRN Radio, and we are live right now on KLRN Radio, Inc. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn the show back over to the ladies.
Hello. So we were discussing, while we were off the air, about the scandal that's going on in Virginia as far as the blackface, the sexual assault scandal, and the whole irony with the seriousness of the accusations that the black lieutenant governor could actually be the one that is forced to resign. And there are very serious accusations against him. I just think it is along the same lines as the Kavanaugh issue. So the question is everybody wanted us to believe Kavanaugh's accusers. So we're believing the lieutenant governor's accusers. They've come forward. They've made claims. So where does it go from here? How do you feel, Jody, about the whole blackface scandal?
Well, first of all, and we had talked about this before, I had a conversation with my brother the other day. I don't know anybody that ever dressed up in blackface. And I honestly don't have any family members that ever dressed up in blackface. So I always think it's odd when these pictures come up. It's usually Democrats that dressed up in blackface. Joy Behar dressed up in blackface. You know.
Well, I guess where I'm kind of, and it's hard to, because I know that the House Rep King made the comment where he talked about, the whole white supremacy issue and whatnot, and others talking about what really is the big deal as far as blackface goes when, if someone's dressing up in a blackface to legitimately hurt someone, that's a whole lot different than perhaps going in a costume. You want to be Michael Jackson, you want to be rappers or whatnot. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Now, back on that, okay, so the Attorney General that came out said that he was dressed up as a rapper, but wasn't that like 1980? Like, what rapper was he in 1980 that he dressed up in blackface?
Well, they did have the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. You don't remember that song?
Well, do you honestly think he was dressed up as a rapper?
Well, wait a minute. Wasn't Run DMC around then? Well, not the early 80s. Maybe were they?
In 1980? No.
I don't know.
I'm thinking that he basically just said that. Like his people got together. They're like, say this. And of course, people like AOC have no idea history because you'd actually have to figure out what was going on in 1980.
And this is the funny part of it is, I was talking with my husband and we're discussing, for example, Kung Fu with David Carradine. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how come they didn't have like Bruce Lee, star in that, whatever. And I'm not even sure if Bruce Lee was probably already dead by then, but I'm not sure. But,
Actually,
and I said, and you got Charlie Chan.
He was not dead, actually.
Right.
He was one of the first ones they looked at for the role. And
really?
And because of the fact that the race relations were like they were back then, they actually went with Carradine and David Carradine made him put makeup on his face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, you are just a fountain of information.
See? If it's not Aggie, it's Rick.
I only do this like 12 hours a week. I have to be able to talk out of my butter. Don't work.
You're on your game. But my point is, I don't even care if he was dressed up as a rapper, quite honestly. That's fine to me. Just like we had talked about the movie White Chicks, they're dressed up as white girls. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh.
What I do care is the double standard. And you have them coming up with this story, and I don't even think the stories equate with what's happening in Virginia and Kavanaugh. Blasey Ford, that's like completely, number one, it's questionable if she passed that lie detector test because we're not really seeing the full results. And it's, I mean, come on, we know it was a show. There's zero credibility that they've even met. At least this other woman actually knew him, and it is plausible they were in the same room together.
Correct. And then what I found also interesting, if you look at the governor, I don't know if anyone else caught what was on his yearbook page, but it pretty much said like, let's drink beer and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, no one commented on that after the big scandal about drinking beer in Kavanaugh. I'm like, seriously, where's the comments on that?
Hey, Elizabeth Warren launched her campaign drinking a beer right there in front of everybody.
That was probably the worst stunt I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. I was who told her to do it?
I don't know, but this is I just am so tired of how many people have come to their defense. It's just like with Bill Clinton when Monica Lewinsky with that whole affair. All of those people came to his defense that it was consensual, it was nobody's business, that she was at fault. I just feel like I don't understand why on the Democratic Party, especially with the women, they make this big show of wearing all white, yet they don't attack the state of Virginia for this possible, sexual allegation.
Their silence is telling.
I think so. Now, Hillary Clinton did come out and say that he should step down. I thought I saw that. Well, no, she did that for the governor, for the governor. I guess I have not seen yet if she has said anything about the sexual.
the difference in the reporting between, Christina Blasey Ford and Kavanaugh and the victim and the lieutenant governor is so telling. Kavanaugh became instantly a pedophile, a rapist. This guy is, they're serious accusations.
Yes.
Excuse me?
Yes, exactly. We're going to look into this. We've got to, investigate.
Now, to give the Democratic Party in Virginia, they did basically state that they felt that they stopped short of saying the lieutenant governor and the attorney general should step down, but they stated clearly that they felt the governor should step down.
Right.
But they stopped short of the other two. And it's like, why? What's more serious? What actually is more serious? To me, a sexual assault is far more serious than something someone may have done stupidly in the 80s because they were dressing up as character.
Right. And I agree. Stacey said earlier on Twitter, at Scottsfire. There you go, Stacey. She said earlier on Twitter, these are your rules. You guys made up these ridiculous rules that we could go all the way back to the 6th grade. And I'm paraphrasing here. And, investigate everything you've ever done in your whole life. So I just kind of find it, I find it good karma that the Democratic Party is now reaping their, what they sowed with Kavanaugh. So
if they go back to the 6th grade for me, they'll find that I had a crush on Sean Cassidy and his big poster up above my bed.
Oh my God, I did too. Yes, Sean Cassidy, and the
Parker Stevenson.
Parker Stevenson, but why can't I think of it? From Australia, Andy Gibb.
Oh yes.
I know. We're so old. Okay, so
people probably like listening. Who the hell's Sean Cassidy?
I know it. Leif Garrett. I also had the Leif Garrett. Hey, but I also had the Rob Lowe where he's in the white suit but no shirt. It's just like the white tank that was Lowe.
Do you think he was a toxic male?
Yes, he could be toxic. He could still be toxic male to me. That's just fine.
The ones that just get better looking, like John Stamos.
Okay, so moving into toxic males and sexual stuff. Okay, come on. The president of Amazon.
Oh dear.
Yes, or the founder, Bezos.
Giggity,
okay,
giggity.
What
giggity goo.
What is up with that? He is smart enough to create this huge company, but he's too stupid to use Snapchat?
I mean, no offense, but seriously, you have drilled it into your kids. Do not send nude pictures. You obviously, I mean, I can tell you, like you said, Jody, there is nothing out there ever of me, and there never will be.
Same. There are no nude pictures.
Unless someone wants to Photoshop my head.
I'm sorry, but hoo-has and men's junk, it's just not, I don't know, it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. It's not. Like, I like legs. I like a really good abdomen and a good arms.
But
pretty eyes. Hey, if you have a nice butt, but seriously, what is up with people?
Yeah. If someone sent me that, like, unsolicited, I'd be like, what?
Well, yeah, like Brett Favre, speaking of the Packers. But, okay, so one of the things that it said in the National Enquirer, that not only was there a penis pic, there was also one where he's in his pants and he's definitely has an erection. What the hell? He's a grown ass man. I just can't even imagine his children reading that someday.
Well, let me ask you this question, okay? If someone sent you those pictures, I'm sorry, but that probably would not make me feel attracted to them at that point in time. I don't care.
Oh, it would make me burst out laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, and then you'd show your girlfriends, right? You'd be like, oh my God, look at this. Yeah. I know. Which would lead, oh my God. See, guys, don't do this because this is what we do.
Yes.
This is what we do. So we get together and so usually now, I used to be with hockey moms. Now I'm with a bunch of cheer moms. So we go to all these events. So we all go to the hotel bars at night, right? And we're all sitting around, we're all chatting. If some guy did that, I'd be like passing the phone around, showing everybody, oh my God, you guys, look at this. And we would all be in giggles.
Yes.
Right? Am I right?
Yes. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Guys,
right.
don't do that. So as a mom of boys, I'm telling you right now, that is just setting yourself up for future, it's just going to be out there. Yeah. Yes. Exposure. That's exactly right.
I mean, think about it. If you are a guy and you whip it out in public, for example, you're going to be arrested for lewd acts. But
yes. Okay. Did you see Lauren Sanchez, the girl he's like was dating or that he was sleeping with? I don't even know if they were dating or if they were just exchanging pictures and sleeping together.
Well, they're a couple. Apparently, the rumor is, because I was listening today to the news, that her brother is the one who possibly accessed all of these. Now they're trying to claim that there's a connection between her brother and Roger Stone and crew. So they're trying to kind of link it possibly to the White House is what they're saying.
I don't believe that. Do you believe that?
No. And who's the government entity that he was talking about?
He's just trying to get out of his dick pics with his because his wife's going to get all his money.
But the New York Post though, when they I can't remember what their headline said. Do you remember what their headline said, Rick? It was absolutely hysterical.
I do not actually. The one so you asked me the one thing I can't answer for once. No, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Well, that's somebody out there in on Twitter or in the chat room.
I know you're listening, so let's go find out if she knows. Oh, by the way, speaking of Aggie, she wanted to point it out that she knew about the kung fu thing, so she was mad we didn't go to her.
See, I'm telling you guys, she's brilliant. So, Lauren Sanchez, I was looking at pictures of her earlier, just when we were prepping for the show, and I'm like, her eyes are crossed. Do her eyes look crossed to you guys? Like, go look at. I'm sure the guys only didn't even look up all the way to her eyes. But if you actually go,
wait, hang on. I have a question. She has eyes, is what you're saying?
I know. Believe it or not, she has eyes. I'm looking at her, going,
not sure I've ever
"Oh my God, her eyes are crossed." It was annoying. She has an annoying face.
Well, her eyes bulge too sometimes.
I can't say much. I have an eye that doesn't always know what it's doing, and I have a pretty annoying face, so there's that.
You do not stop that right now.
I don't see that at all, Rick. I don't. But let me tell you, you will be fair game if you cheat on your wife and you send pictures out there and it's all in the news because the National Enquirer picks them up. If they take pictures of you and they comment on your eyes, it's your fair game. Just saying.
So I found what the cover of the New York Post said, which was epic. It said, Bezos exposes pecker. The guy's name at the National Enquirer is David Pecker. I thought it was a double entendre. It was amazing.
That is how clever.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Hey, Mr. Pecker, I heard you're the guy that exposed the Pecker story. I mean, what? The world is ridiculous.
So you want to know what would have made that even worse? What if Pecker had been the one to expose the Wiener story?
Oh, jeez. Seriously, that would have been priceless.
Wait a minute. How do we know he didn't? We need to go back and see all the stories Pecker wrote on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
That's amazing. That's a good one. Pecker exposes Wiener, who exposes.
I know. It's fascinating. So on a more gross note, because that was gross enough. Seriously, what is up with killing these babies late? What is up with this? This is disgusting and gross. I don't even understand. The New Mexico law that hopefully will not pass the Senate, They passed their House, but hopefully it won't pass their state Senate. It's on demand for any reason. So seriously, think about it as a mom of a daughter from China. What if they just don't want a girl?
That's exactly what it's selective gender is what will end up happening. Selective gender on the table. And it's horrific, number one, that this is even going on, because I am sorry, and I've said this a million times, if you haven't figured out by 16 weeks that you don't want to have a baby, you have options.
Oh my gosh, yes.
40 weeks.
Well,
and then I read a heartbreaking story of a mom whose child was diagnosed with, basically they said she would be lucky if she lived 36 hours. And she carried that baby to birth because she said, I can do something. I can donate, my child's organs.
Oh.
So the babies, her daughter lived for a week, which was a full, 5.5 days longer than normal. But that baby went to help, 3 other babies to survive.
Well, I just don't even know what's happened to human compassion and common sense, because
they're depraved.
Can you even imagine, Diane, when we were in high school, if people would have said, this is going to be the law someday when you're older? I mean, we wouldn't even have believed them.
The breakdown of society in this country and there is hope, because I will say that the people that you see right now that are in office, like, Ocasio and I don't even remember. I try not even to think of their names. The generation that's coming up now that are graduating high school and starting college now, they've already stated that a lot more of these students are more pro-life, more responsible, if you will.
Yes, yes, I've seen that too.
Are more level-headed. They're, I put the full blame on how these millennials, if you want to call them that, are behaving on their professors if they went to college.
Hey,
They've been radicalized. That's plain and simple.
Ladies, we have somebody that would like to talk to you.
We do?
Oh.
Good evening, ladies.
Oh, no. Oh, look at this. So, Hammy, Hammy, for those of you who don't know, was our old producer. Rick is our new producer. Hammy is going to be on.
Wait a minute. Let's clarify old. Let's put this how it really was. I found these two waifs wandering down the internet superhighway. Taking great pity on them, I gave them a show.
You did.
You did.
Now, the gratefulness is expressed as our old producer.
Hey, on Friday nights, it used to be Hammy's show, and it was called Getting Hammered.
That's
it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
And when he gets his internet fixed, we are hoping Hammy is going to join us on the red wine, because in reality, the red wine was the red wine because Hammy was part of it as well.
Well, one of the things we had...
Everybody loves a threesome.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of threesome, Jody, that segues right into your other
final my segment. Gosh. Hammy. Rick, did you guys see the real estate story about the house that popped up on Zillow? So
I saw the thing you posted, but I didn't see any pictures. I mean, I saw like 39 pictures, and none of them were normal, except it was like a really expensive house.
Well, because it started out with 48 pictures, and then when this website suddenly got this house on the real estate website got almost 500,000 hits in the last few days. I think that somebody went in and went, what's going on? So let me read you how Scary Mommy served it up. So they said, house hunting is hard. Am I right? Are there enough closets? How are the schools? Will you be able to maintain a yard that size? Does the master bedroom have a fully equipped private adult sexual oasis? So this house was staged, and it looks beautiful. The only odd thing in all the bedrooms and in the family room is there are bearskin rugs everywhere. And when you get to the basement.
That's not the only thing. That's not the only thing. Being a guy, I noticed another terrible, terrible thing.
What'd you notice?
I knew automatically this house was decorated by a deranged woman. Every single bed was at a 45-degree angle to the room.
Okay, I did notice that too, because I hate that. Because where are you going to put a stupid bedside table?
No shit.
I know. I have to have my water at night, people. So,
so Hammy didn't get to see the sex dungeon, did he?
So, in the basement.
No, I'm looking at the article. I'm looking at Scary Mommy.
Look at Scary Mommy.
I'm good on the recordings.
So when you go in the basement, it's a wide open, beautiful open basement. But instead of having the family room as you walk down the open staircase, you have actual, like 50 Shades of Grey. There is a bed set up with handcuffs and one of those, like they used to put people in back in the 1700s and 1600s when they were in trouble and they had to put their head and their hands through.
Hey, Jody, that's not a bed. I don't know what it is. I think it's like a little man cage.
What is the red thing, Hammy? Do you see the pictures? What is that red thing?
I don't know. It looks like something someone bent someone over. This is the house of scary liberals.
I was looking at the tools that were on the back wall hanging. The whip.
Oh my gosh! Is that okay? You guys, is that a plastic hand that is beside the bedside? Like, what is that for? I don't even know.
If you have to ask.
You guys taking the pictures though, they're probably like, "What hell have I walked into?"
Well, no. I mean, this is like the most. This is like the most elegant dungeon in the world.
Yes.
So you have. Here is the big hang you from the ceiling swing chain thing with whips and everything right next to a beautiful planter.
But the money that you make for renting it out, though, did you see that? Holy mackerel!
There's bodies. There are bodies underneath that floor. I guarantee you. You notice that rest of the house is like wood floor?
Well, first of all, I would never walk barefoot on that floor. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
That place, you go in there with a black light, it would look like a freaking Jackson Pollock painting.
Because, I mean, I don't even know how you could reuse some of that stuff. Because seriously, like, you could get AIDS. There's like blood. Oh, my gosh.
It's a one-time thing. One thing done.
Oh.
You'd spray it down really good.
I just love all the little elegant touches. The nice wainscoting.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a nice tile. I love the staircase.
Yeah, I mean, and they got little benches with more fur draped over it. Everywhere in this house, there's something dead.
Can you even imagine the name? I know. I said that's bizarre. There are bearskin rugs in every room. So here is the other thing. Can you imagine being their neighbor? I don't know.
You're not going to see it.
All right, ladies, I hate to cut you off, but we're at the top of the hour.
Oh, good luck.
And on that, hey, ladies, good luck on your new show. And, I'll try and call in every now and then and get insulted.
All right. Bye, Hammy. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, folks, that's gonna do it for the relaunch for the Red Wine Show. Stay tuned. We're going to reset. We'll be right back with Robinson and Wright right here on Friday Night KLRN Radio. Stay locked.
I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took to me, shook at me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the